As a father of two very precocious young boys, I've been interested lately in developing and having a better understanding of my gaming behaviors, and the way that my gaming interacts with my intellectualism and my academic profile. So much of this interaction comes from the social justice warrior types, you know, the people involved in like the feminism side of Gamergate. But there's so many different dimensions of game analysis that are just really, really interesting and don't necessarily have to be so controversial. One of the things that I have encountered recently that I wanted to explore is randomized content in free-to-play games. It doesn't even necessarily have to be free to play, although that's where I seem to run into it the most. And the place where I've really encountered this is Warface on Xbox 360. First-person shooters are a very frustrating thing for me personally. I'm sure there's a lot of inferences you could make about my character with that frustration. In that, you know, one of the things I would love to do would be to just sit down with a first-person shooter and play it for about 6 hours. And as a father, as a professional, as someone who really cares about a lot of things in the world, I cannot afford to do that anymore. And hour increment times for play on Call of Duty is exceedingly unsatisfying. You don't get better at the game, and you end up getting killed by the helicopters all the time, as the 12-year-old kids, you know, hurl racial slurs at you. And, you know, Call of Duty is something I enjoy so much in the multiplayer. It's extremely fun, but it's just nail-bitingly frustrating. Well, with the fact that you don't really get to chart and measure your improvement and your progress. You have the challenges in association with the weapons and how you use them. In the fact that you get different gun colors and patterns, different weapon add-ons. Which is funny too, and most of the add-ons you get for the weapons are going to get you trash-talked. Anyway, using a heartbeat sensor, somebody's going to curse you out. So I have a love-hate relationship with Call of Duty. It is so insubstantial, and it has absolutely no meat on its bones. Enter Warface. Now, the same guys who created the Far Cry series. The graphics are terrible. It has absolutely no kill streak rewards. The class structure has a little bit more depth to it in that you can play as a medic and heal people, or an engineer that has claymores, can reinforce armor, rifleman, resupplies ammunition, and a sniper just runs around acting like a douchebag. But the thing about Warface, even though it's a simple game, even though the maps are ridiculously small, even though the graphics are just butt-ugly PlayStation 1, in my humble opinion, it's a lot of flipping fun. But the fun comes from my individual interaction with a game and what I like. So, for me, one of the things that I love, and one of the things that really gets me connected to a video game, is unlocking different items and customizing my character. Taking ownership of the way my character looks, and being able to show off the gear that I've acquired. Call of Duty, you get the different weapons, but the actual add-ons and stuff, in my opinion, is really, really shallow. You don't really get that much differentiation with the different classes. I mean, you don't have any control over your character's appearance aside from what they're carrying. In Warface, you can actually customize the entire layout. You can control the shoes, the bulletproof vest, the helmet, the gloves, and then you actually can switch weapon modifications in-game. You can take that silencer off if you would rather have the power over the stealth. There's a lot of customization. But the unlock pattern in Warface is more complicated, but man, it's so much more rewarding. In Call of Duty, you get a slew of rewards based on what is, in my opinion, purely arbitrary behavior. If I get 20 headshots, I get a particular color. I never really connected with that stuff, you know? It didn't really make any difference to me. Whereas in Warface, you get points based on the speed of your kills, and you get points based on how well you've helped your team, whether to help them climb ledges, or to heal or resupply, and all of that good stuff. Unless you're a sniper, then no one likes you. So the Warface points get translated to in-game currency that can be used to purchase gear of your choice. I'm sorry, I like it. You know, it's funny because the perks in Call of Duty give you a lot of special powers, but they don't allow you to personalize the appearance of your character. In Warface also, you have randomized content. It's free to play, but you can put down a few bucks to purchase an item from one of the selected caches. And when you purchase out of these boxes, you never know what you're going to get. I've been playing a online trading card game called Tyrant Unleashed, and it's kind of a derivative of Magic the Gathering, but holy moly is it addictive. And it's because the game rotates these different card boxes that when you make a small purchase, you don't know what you're buying. You get a randomized card. Just the same thing in Warface. You get randomized content so that so much of the strength is up to chance. I find stuff like that to just be candy, man. That stuff is just really, really stinking cool. Because you get that collector's mentality. You get to have your gear, show it off. Upgrade it in different ways. You earn vendor points in order to get new purchases, and I don't know. It's the thing is, what separates Call of Duty from Warface, in my opinion, I actually like the absence of kill streaks because I don't have a helicopter shooting at me all the time. And I don't have Predator missiles coming after me all the time because I'm not good enough to ever use those things. So I hate them. But I also get more of a steady, streamlined progression of my character and development. I see the different outfits he can wear. I see the different guns that he can use. I can modify them in different ways. So that when I return to my character, I'm returning to something that has, in a lot of ways, been put together by me based on my choices and what I want. That means I can come back to Warface and feel right back where I was, whereas Call of Duty always feels just like I'm in the middle of something I don't understand. On that note, the small maps encourage spawn point invasions and spawn killing. I find that stuff hilariously fun. When the other team is invading your spawn and you're desperately trying to fight them off, you are in the game, you know? You are desperately trying to break out of that situation, and it's hilarious. The other thing is I'm pretty freaking good at Warface. Whereas Call of Duty, I absolutely struggle to get kills at all. Most of the time, I get absolutely no kills in Call of Duty. Like, I struggle to get like 3 or 4. It's pathetic. But Warface, being a more classic shooter with more, defined, stringent parameters, I can get in there and I can teach people some lessons, I get in there and I'm pretty competitive. And that was never the case with Call of Duty. I never could acclimate to it. So, the main takeaway from all this is just, Ian Pagost has talked a lot about gaming behaviors and the different gaming personalities and gaming profiles. And one of the things that he talks about is, the different preferences for different types. Some people like to collect, like to, get the loot and get the stuff that they can brag about and show off. Some people are the hunters, the killers, the alphas, the people who want the 500 headshots on that particular weapon so they can show that off. Other people are explorers, which is pretty obvious. You could get a lot of the exploration experience from Legend of Zelda. But you also have something interesting where it's the people who identify with a self-constructing narrative when you come into a situation that doesn't have a lot of storytelling and you get to supplement your own story over on top of it. Warface kind of appeals to me in that regard as well because it's just a bunch of, I don't know, the character ownership. I feel like this is a person that I'm bringing through this process and I'm customizing along the way. So, I don't know. When we're thinking about games and we're thinking about marketing games, thinking about those particular appeals, designing games to appeal to the particular gaming profile might be something to explore. It would be a really, really interesting thing to see the facets of gaming as, it plays out, and to know what is the content that I'm getting here. Is this more of a competitive thing? Is this more, going to scratch my collector's itch like the way Pokemon does? So, I don't know. It's just, I've enjoyed Warface. I know it sucks compared to Call of Duty when you play them side by side. It's really, really strange to actually play those games side by side. But Warface keeps winning out. I keep going back to Warface, even though I know Call of Duty is a better play experience. I just love me some Warface. Maybe it's because it's free.